What's up? Welcome to Medea 2010. That's Marty and Drew's excellent adventure in 2010. This is our first introductory video. Just going to be telling you guys what we're doing on this trip. Basically, we're taking a 2 to 3 month cross-country tour. Right now we're in Norfolk, Virginia. We just got here last night about 12 o'clock. We spent all day on the road, driving. We went through 6 states in one day. What did you do? Tell me. Yeah, I went through Ohio, went through Pittsburgh, went through a couple tunnels, went through Maryland, West Virginia, now we're in Norfolk. So we're going to be going to North Carolina, we're going to Savannah, Georgia, we're going to Florida. My aunt lives in Florida. We're going to be staying down there for a little over a week. We're going to a couple concerts while we're there. Going to see Richard Cortez in Fort Lauderdale on the 23rd and Foxy Shazam in Tampa on the 26th. We're going to be going to New Orleans. We're going to be going to Austin, one of my favorite cities ever. Keep Austin weird. And we're going to be hanging out in Austin for a while and seeing some live music there. We're also going to be going over to Phoenix. Hopefully we'll hit Roswell, New Mexico as well. And we're going to go to California, hang out with our buddy Richard, and just do some auditioning in Hollywood. Now the mission of this trip is to meet new people and to explore. All those cities that we're going to, those are just fun things that we're doing. Whole point of this trip is for us to explore new cities, meet new people, meet diverse people. And what we're doing is we're using Craigslist rideshare and Couchsurfing to help us with our trip. Couchsurfing.org is a wonderful site where you can sign up for an account and you can meet strangers who most of them are really nice, and stay with them, and they'll show you around and stuff of their city. And other thing that we're going to be doing is an art project. We're going to different bars, different nightclubs, trains, wherever we can find graffiti art, bathroom wall art, anything like that. And we're going to be taking pictures of all of that stuff, and we want to make a big graffiti art book out of it. But the most awesome thing that we're doing on this trip that I'm the most excited about is we're making a documentary. You guys can follow us on medeatrip.net. That's M-A-D-E-A trip.net. That stands for Marty and Drew's Excellent Adventure. And that's our website. We don't have a whole lot up there, but we're going to be posting our videos and video blogs up there. And what we're going to be doing is interviewing people from Craigslist rideshare who need rides that we're picking up to go to places. We're going to be interviewing couchsurfers and couchsurfing hosts, and just getting their experiences and collecting them. We want to talk to hitchhikers, vagabonds, any cool people who live in an alternative lifestyle like that. And we want to make a documentary about the road, about couchsurfing, about sustainability and alternative living, about sustainability. And so yeah, that's going to be pretty awesome. So some of the questions we've gotten from our friends and families about this so far is, are you guys crazy? What if you run into a crazy axe murderer, or what if someone tries to kill you or steal your car, steal all of your stuff? To me, that's the whole point of the trip and the documentary, is to meet these strangers and take them up on their offers and kindness. We want to have a yes attitude towards everything in this trip. Anytime a new opportunity is presented to us, we just want to say yes and just go with it. In my point of view, a stranger is just a friend that you haven't met yet. Most of the strangers I've met throughout my life have been a lot nicer than people I've went to school with or worked with. And yeah, so I have a big thing against irrational fears. I was listening to NPR last year. I've had a thing against irrational fears since before that, but it's just a really good point. There was this guy on NPR, a psychologist, talking about irrational fears and how kids these days, their parents, they'll drive them to school more than the kids will walk to school, because they're afraid that their kids are going to get abducted or something like that on the way to school. And statistically, your children are hundreds of times more likely to die in a car accident while you're driving them to school than they are to be abducted walking to school. I think that the world needs to calm down. We need to start seeing peace. We need to get along with each other in this world. And I don't think that we can stop having wars with other countries or being at odds with foreign cultures if we can't settle our own differences and irrational fears right here. If we can't stop being afraid of each other and our strangers who live next door, how are we going to stop being afraid of people who live on the other side of the world? And if we can't see eye to eye with people, that live in a state over from us, how are we ever going to get along with people who live in a completely different country? So I'm a big advocate of world peace and brotherhood, and I feel like if we as mankind don't trust each other, if we can't get along and live peaceably amongst each other, even on the smallest of terms, how are we ever going to do that on a larger scale? So by interviewing all of these people and by compiling this documentary and by traveling around and meeting all these strangers, I intend to prove to my family and friends and anyone else who've been questioning me that there aren't nearly as many axe murderers and psycho killers and crazy people out there as you think. And most people inside are really good-hearted people and ready to help and make a positive change in the world. But it's up to all of us. If we want to change the world, if we want to make it a better place, if we want to get along, it's up to us to stop being afraid. It's up to us to get out there and see the world and talk to people, talk to strangers, talk to your neighbor. There's a difference between being uncomfortable and not being safe. And that's something that Madeline brought up the other day when we were riding in the car with her. She's a woman we picked up on Craigslist rideshare yesterday. She needed a ride from Columbus to Baltimore. And, nowadays in America, we've grown so accustomed to, our lifestyle here, and we've grown so accustomed to the way things work here, and so accustomed to being in our comfort zone all the time, to always be doing what we want to do, to always be where we feel comfortable, and to always be with who we feel comfortable being around. So there's a really big line between not being comfortable and not being safe. There's a huge difference there, and I think in America we're so used to that comfort that we often unfortunately blur the two things. We feel uncomfortable because we're in a new situation, or we're staying in a stranger's house, or we picked up a hitchhiker. Yeah, that's a little uncomfortable. You don't know anything about that person, but doesn't mean it's not safe. So just some things to think about. Thanks.